I wanted to make this quick video talking about the infamous purple rush in BTD battles. 2. I've been playing this game quite a lot recently, and even though I think the game is still unbalanced in a lot of scenarios, I do think it is a lot of fun right now, since they fixed the grindy aspects of the game mostly. I mean, it's still a bit grindy, but I mean, it is free game. I mean, I would much rather have like a one-time payment for it to not be as grindy, which I don't think they really offer. But you could still purchase a lot of the stuff from the game, so I can't really complain. Let's be honest here. I can't really complain. But yeah, this game is a bit fun. It's not as bad grinding right now. So, but like there has been one aspect of the game that has really bothered me, and that's not really because it's massively unbalanced or because the purple rush is so horrible. I mean, it is, but not really for the reasons that I assume a lot of people complain about. My problem is how superior it is to purple rush than to not purple rush, if that makes any sense, because um, purple rushing just doesn't have really any discouragement, right? It doesn't discourage you from purple rushing, since it just rewards you. It purely rewards you, since if you have to defend it, then you have to save money ahead of time in order to defend the rush, and the rush is way too fast. And I've honestly found that 90% of the time I am just not fast enough to purchase the upgrades ahead of time. Like not ahead of time, sorry, after they rush me. So I can't really save my money, then like eco as well as and then react to the rush. Um, Especially because like round 11, which is the purple rush, is right before round 12, which is one of the best rounds for eco, as well as the money you save in order to defend, since you cannot, there is no way of both ecoing and saving enough money to defend against purple rush, since there is no cheap way to defend against that. In the rush itself is way too fast. Now I do think the best and simplest solution here, make it slower. Make the purple slower. The thing that really kills you is not the purple immunity, it's the speed. Purples are way too fast, and they are insanely brutal. They are grouped beyond hell. But like if you don't want to do that, I do get that. I do get that Ninja Kiwi obviously wouldn't want to do that, since they want to keep a BTD6 and battles mostly the same. So I want to offer a few other solution, as well as talk about some of the problems with it and why, in my opinion, it's so like stupid, right? Since, as I said, money you save versus the money you can spend on ecoing, and if you are purple rushing, it costs you nothing. I mean, okay, it does cost you a bit, but like that's not really money you have to save ahead of time, and it's most likely gonna kill them. So you're not really saving that much money, which means you can eco, unless you are expecting to get purple rush, which is what actually balances it out. 90% of the time I found that the other guy is also saving money. But the thing is, if both of you are saving money and the first guy rushes, then you have to defend, or if you rush first, then he's forced to defend or rush you back and speed boost it, but most likely both of you are gonna like balloon boost it, right? So it kind of becomes this problem of micro. Either A, you can micro upgrade your micro upgrades, or micro rush, which means you need to be fast. And like, I'm playing on a phone. I'm playing on a goddamn phone. Yeah, I do not have the reaction time to defend against the purple rush. Okay, here I'm playing on a computer, obviously. But like, I usually play this game on my phone, and I did not sign up for a strategy game to have like 8 hands like a Korean StarCraft 2 players. No, it's supposed to be fun. This game is not supposed to be like pure micro 10 hands StarCraft 2. I mean, if I wanted that, I'd just play StarCraft 2. And I do want to talk about specifically how the game like mistreats mobile players. In the first game, I found like PC players have like a slight advantage, but not a massive one. I found that I can beat most like PC players if you just play good. In here, I found that like the best strategies often include selling micro, rushing micro, and stuff like that. So it's less about the strategy, and it always feels like about like the speed and your reaction and stuff like that, which is my biggest problem here. Um, since I have a lot of strategies that can beat Purple Rush, it's just I'm often just not good enough micro-wise to like play them well. So I often would lose the eco advantage. I'd often lose the defending advantage. I'd often lose that out, right? So that's why I really don't like the Purple Rush. I really don't like how easy and simple it is to use. And yeah, as you can see, I die here because I am stupid. Actually, I'm absolutely gonna take the blame on that one. But I had the money, and I just couldn't react in time, right? I just couldn't react in time, and that kind of pissed me off, obviously. And that was a ranked game, so obviously that guy was gonna purple rush me. I should have probably prepared the defense ahead of time, but like I was ecoing, right? And that's honestly the big problem. Not every game you're gonna get a good eco, especially if the guy like really sends a lot of balloons at you and ecos as well as like send like grouped balloons, sorry, not grouped, spaced balloons and stuff like that, and like changes it up. Then you're gonna have a hard time ecoing it. Usually you're just gonna lose the eco in it, and I really want to talk about that. So here are some of my proposals for the changes now that I've done kind of complaining about how stupid the rush is and how much it forces you to like be more about reaction than anything else. So anyway, my first big solution here, and it's a simple one. Make it much more expensive. Make the purple rush much more expensive, and this would force you to save more money ahead of time. But like once again, you get into the same problem since you you are already saving money because you expect to be purple rushed. But it would discourage people from purple rushing. And I don't think alone it's a good change, but with some other changes, I do think the price should increase. It should not be as cheap as it is right now. Second solution, this is more inclined with the first one, make it more spaced. It is way too tightly rushed. There are not enough towers in the game that have enough piers to deal with the purple rush, which is a big problem. A lot of balloons that are towers that are good against the purple rush just don't have the piercing in order to deal with the purple rush. And you would have cheaper alternatives, which means strategy would win overall. If you can prepare a good cheap defense ahead of time and continue to eco, then it's not as much of a problem, especially if it's more expensive to purple rush and you have better ways to defend the purple rush. Then it really feels much more like strategy. Like, does he have good towers against purple rushing? Then maybe I should not purple rush because I'm gonna lose, so I'd much rather eco instead of losing a lot of money on the purple rush. And if he doesn't have good towers, and you can test muddy out the water, chum the water, sorry, not muddy out the water, like test it, just test for a bit, just be like, just poke the bear, send a few purple balloons, test or try to trigger him, like how normal rushes work. A lot of times you'd find yourself like lead rushing lead or regrow lead and doing stuff that aren't like probably gonna kill him, but just try and force him to boost out or buy a really expensive defense, or lose a bit of eco, panic, just stuff like that. That's how normal rushing works in this game, and that's how I like it. I like that you have to like test the water, try and bait him in, like often with eco, especially in the early to mid game, which is where the most fun of the game lies in. Now, I do like late games. Obviously, I like late games. I mean, I guess it's not that obvious, but like the most fun when it comes to rushes are in that early to mid game, since you can always like try and poke him out, try and see if you can like force him to get like a worse eco. So a good player can always force the other guy to maybe get like worse eco, and you win in the eco division, and you can rush him earlier or do stuff like that, obviously. So and that's obviously a thing. Now, another solution, and this is a pretty big one, is make the purple rush at round 12 instead of 11. Now, you don't think that's that important, right? You're like, well, just another round, but round 12 is when you get rainbow balloons, which means that you are forced to choose. Do you want to spend your money rushing him purples, or spend your money sending rainbows, which are one of the best ecos, especially for the early game. So if you lose eco early game, often what I try to do is get that eco back in round 12. But obviously round 11 is purple rush, and I have to spend most of my money defending the purple rush, especially ahead of time, since I just don't have a good enough reaction speed to react to the purple rush. Or maybe like I have to pair the towers ahead of time just so I can upgrade. So since upgrading is really easy, you just click the button, right? But sending out the balloon, especially because if you want to show the keyboard, but like obviously Q, W, E, R on one side of the keyboard, and the upgrade buttons are on the bottom side of the keyboard. And I cannot do both of them at the same time since my fingers are just not long enough. So I'd have to move my hand from the W key, which is where my wizard is, and then into the bottom of my keyboard. If that makes any sense. So I have to use my mouse and then move my hand downwards towards those keys, click, and then quick upgrade. Or if I'm on a phone, that's even worse, since I have a pretty small screen. Obviously I'm playing on a phone. I have a pretty big screen considering it's a phone, right? But considering it's still like touch screen, and my hand takes most of the screen, and you get it. You get what I'm trying to say. So you are forced to either like defend, or so if you're not forced to defend on round 11, then you have to choose. So if you rush and the other guy defends and he can send like rainbow balloons, then he is in a better state. But you are forced to like choose. I like this. I both like this and dislike this, since if you are getting rushed on round 12, then it's even harder to send out rainbow balloons. I mean, you can send it earlier, but then lose most of your money to defend. So you have to prepare your defense beforehand, save up money, and still rainbow rush. But if you can discourage purple rushing enough to the then like it could be viable. I do think the best right now, keep it round 11 and make it both much more spaced and much more expensive, which is the best option out here. And if you don't want to make them slower, since I do think the biggest problem is the fact that you don't have enough peers, plus that they are really fast, or make them at a later round. I think making them in round 12. Now, yeah, round 13 is good. It is, but it does have its advantages and disadvantages. The biggest disadvantage is that both of you are after sending rainbows, but if they are going to make the purples more expensive and more spaced, then round 13 is better, since once again he has to spend a lot of money rainbows, so he's ecoing and he can't send as much purples, which are more spaced and more expensive. But if it's the same purple rush as round 13, then it's worse, since you don't have money, since you have to choose between rainbows or ecoing. So I do think all together these should kill the rush, and would only make it good to, like, as I said, poke the bear, chum the water, test out your opponent, which is how I like it. So yeah, that's like, I wanted to do a full discussion, not just one solution, multiple solutions that I think all of them together would make the perfect, as well as, yeah. By the way, I did not specifically choose these games to show the purple rush. 2 games in a row purple rushed me, and one of them was in casual battles.